New day, new drama in South Africa. According to new reports, King Misuzulu's second wife files for divorce, demanding 60% of his properties as his attachment to his former first wife deepens. Please like this video as you watch. The Zulu royal family has once again been thrust into the public spotlight following shocking revelations that King Misuzulu Athini's second wife has officially filed for divorce. What has truly captured public attention, however, is her staggering demand, a claim to 60% of the monarch's wealth and personal estates. This unprecedented move comes amid mounting speculation that the king has been rekindling his emotional bond with his former first wife, Queen Kameasila, a relationship that many within the palace believe has caused deep tensions inside the royal household. When King Misuzulu ascended to the throne after the passing of his father, the late King Athini, his reign was expected to usher in a new era of peace and continuity. The people of the Zulu nation looked up to him as a symbol of hope, a bridge between traditional leadership and the modern world. However, recent events have cast a dark shadow over that vision. According to palace insiders, the king's second wife, a respected woman known for her charm, influence, and commitment to community initiatives, has grown weary of what she calls emotional abandonment within her marriage. Her frustrations reportedly stem from what she perceives as the king's growing affection and attention toward his former first wife, Queen Kameasila. Those close to the situation say that tensions within the palace have been building for months. It started with small things. One palace staff member revealed anonymously. Missed dinners, canceled trips, sudden changes in schedule, all of it centered around the king's renewed involvement with his former queen. The divorce documents filed by the queen's legal team have left many astonished. In her petition, she is reportedly seeking 60% of King Misuzulu's total assets, a demand that includes properties, royal business holdings, luxury vehicles, and other valuables under his name. Her attorneys argue that she played a critical role in the early years of the king's leadership, helping him maintain stability during the chaotic aftermath of his father's death and the fierce internal disputes that followed. Her legal argument centers on the claim that she was not merely a royal companion, but a strategic partner who contributed to the building of his reign. She supported the king through the most turbulent years of his life, said a close associate of the queen. Without her, the royal household may not have achieved the order it enjoys today. She believes her sacrifices should be recognized and rewarded. Critics, however, argue that her claim is excessive and could jeopardize royal assets that belong not only to the king, but to the Zulu nation as a whole. Others sympathize with her, saying she endured emotional distress as her husband's affection visibly shifted toward another woman. While the legal fight looms, the palace corridors are abuzz with talk about the king's renewed closeness with his first wife, Queen Kameasila. Observers have noted that the two have appeared together at several cultural gatherings, family ceremonies, and religious events in recent months, often exchanging warm smiles and gestures that hint at lingering affection. Social media has been flooded with speculation. Some believe that the king's emotional connection with Queen Kameasila never truly faded. Others see his behavior as an attempt to mend old wounds and restore unity within factions of the royal family that have long favored her. The king and Queen Kameasila share something very deep, explained a palace insider. Their relationship was forged before politics and power entered the picture. It's not just nostalgia. It's spiritual, it's emotional, and perhaps it's destiny drawing them back together. As the royal household grapples with the unfolding crisis, advisors to the king are reportedly divided. Some members of the Zulu Council believe that the monarch's renewed bond with Queen Kameasila could help heal internal divisions that have persisted since the throne's succession disputes. They see it as a strategic and emotional step toward harmony. Others, however, warn that the king's actions could be misinterpreted by the public and create instability within the palace. "We must be careful," one senior advisor allegedly cautioned. If His Majesty appears indecisive in his personal life, his authority in the kingdom could be weakened. The king's heart must not become the kingdom's battlefield. The Queen's demand for 60% of the king's wealth introduces complex legal and cultural questions. The Zulu monarchy operates within a delicate balance between South African civil law and traditional Zulu customs. While the king's position grants him immense influence, many of his assets are technically part of the royal estate, property held in trust for the Zulu people rather than for personal ownership. Legal experts note that the outcome will depend heavily on the marital contract between the king and his second wife. If they were married in community of property, her legal claim could carry substantial weight. However, if the marriage falls under customary law or was arranged outside community of property, her access to royal wealth may be limited. It's not a simple divorce, explains one Durban-based legal scholar. We are talking about a case that blends monarchy, tradition, and constitutional law. Every decision made here could set a new precedent for how royal marriages are handled in the modern era. Across South Africa and beyond, the story has captured public attention. Supporters of the Queen praise her courage, saying that she has stood up for herself in a situation where royal women are often silenced. They view her demand not as greed but as justice, a way of reclaiming dignity after years of emotional neglect. On the other hand, traditionalists argue that royal matters should never spill into the public domain. They believe the Queen's actions disrespect the sanctity of the monarchy and expose internal affairs to public ridicule. Social media debates continue to rage. Some users sympathize with the king, describing him as a man trapped between two worlds, tradition and modern love. Others see him as a leader struggling to balance his duty to his people with his human emotions. So far, King Misuzulu has refrained from making any public statements regarding the divorce. He has continued to fulfill his royal duties, attending community functions, cultural festivals, and national ceremonies. But those close to him say he appears reflective and distant. His Majesty is under great emotional strain, said one of his attendants. He is a leader who carries the weight of history, yet at his core, he is still a man who feels love, pain, and regret. Palace insiders reveal that the king has been spending quiet evenings in deep contemplation, often visiting spiritual advisors and ancestral shrines. Some believe he is seeking guidance from the spirits of his forefathers to help him navigate the turmoil surrounding his heart and his throne. The divorce proceedings are expected to unfold over several months, possibly even years, given the complexities surrounding royal property.